I see your face in this room full of faces. I'm trying hard not to stand. Strange to see you again.
You're not going to eat all of that, are you?
What'd you say?
What ice cream is that?
Neapolitan.
Well, don't feel compelled to eat that.
Don't wanna waste.
So if it's all right, I'm just gonna put these candlesticks here in the big box with the utensils.
That is what I would do, yes. But you do mean to wrap them first.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, now Francine, I was wondering about this chafing dish, which we have practically never used.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you own one of these yourself?
Oh, no, I sure don't.
Because I do love to entertain, though for the life of me, I can't remember the last time we did. Still, it seems a shame to give it away because it's such a nice thing, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
And it just looks so lonely sitting in the cupboard. So, I was wondering if this might be the sort of thing that would be useful to you.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't take that.
See how sad he looks?
You don't want to be giving that to me.
Well, nonetheless, I'm offering.
No, I don't think I should.
Well, you think about it.
But thank you for offering.
Think about it and let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
And do put some paper around this.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a funny word, isn't it? Neapolitan.
Funny? What way?
What do you suppose is the origin of that?
Naples, I imagine.
Naples?
City of Naples?
No.
Of or pertaining to?
That would not be my first guess.
Yep.
I would think it had something to do with neo, as in new, and then there's the politan part, which to me would suggest a city, like metropolitan.
Could be.
Meaning new city or something to that effect.
Told you what I think.
Because a person from Naples, well, they wouldn't be called, well, not Napoleon, obviously. I guess that one was already taken. On the other hand, you do say Italian. But cities, I mean, and specifically ones ending in S, because there has to be a rule of some sort, don't you think? Help me think of a city other than Naples that also ends in an S. Oh, fiddle.
Des Moines.
Not a silent S.
Brussels.
All right, there you go. And how do we refer to them?
Belgians.
But people from the city.
Never met anyone from Brussels.
There has to be a word.
Look it up.
Where?
Dictionary.
But it's not going to say this is the capital of Belgium, and by the way, the
Give
people who
Sally a
live
call.
there. She won't know
She
that.
and Ray went to Paris.
So,
It's close to Brussels.
Sally never knows those sorts of things. Oh. What?
Parisians.
What about them?
Paris ends in S.
But it's not Brusselsien.
Or Nice.
I'm serious.
Got the S sound.
But it's not Nicians like Grecians.
No, Niçoise.
No, I know
You know that salad your sister made?
But that's French.
It's French city.
No, I understand, but what I'm saying is how do we say it in... Well, now I don't remember the original question.
Brussels.
No,
Des
no,
Moines?
no.
Naples.
Naples, and I don't think Neapolitan, because how would that become Neapolitan?
Muscovites.
What?
People from Moscow.
Well, I give up because that is just peculiar.
Muscovites.
I wonder if they're musky.
Muscovites.
Kyrenes.
That is a strange.
I'm telling you that's what they're
I'm
called.
not disputing.
Why Kyrenes?
Dated a girl named Irene.
Or Congolese?
That too is correct.
So why don't we say Tongolese?
Or Mongolian.
Or Mongoloid?
No. That's
Oh, no.
that's
right.
the
No, I
thing
know.
with the
Like the Wheeler boy.
right. The
Bags.
one who
Bags of groceries.
right.
But that's kind of nice, isn't it, in a way, that we all have our place?
There but for the grace of God.
Exactly.
Ulaanbaatar!
What?
Ulaanbaatar.
What are you doing?
Ulan?
Stop it! Tell me what you're doing.
Capital of Mongolia.
Well, why would I know that?
National Geographic.
Oh, did you change the address like I asked you to?
What's that?
For the National Geographic.
Address?
Oh, Ross!
Me?
I asked you! I asked you 15 times!
When?
I said specifically, don't forget the change of address for the magazine, and you said that you would do it. You said specifically. Oh.
Poor leg.
I see.
Oh, Russ!
Well, maybe some people don't like having their leg pulled.
I was... Okay.
Are you going to bring the trunk down from upstairs?
Yep.
Thought you said after lunch.
Sort of two-person job.
And are you really going to wear those clothes all day?
Never really thought about it.
You know, you are a funny person. I was telling Francine, I ran into Barbara Buckley at Lewis and Coker's the other day, and Barbara said that Newland told her a funny joke that you told at Rotary last year.
That I told?
About a man with a talking dog.
Thinking of Ron Lasseter.
No, it was you.
Ron's the one with the
No,
jokes.
it was you. You know jokes. You tell jokes.
A talking dog?
And Barbara said, does Russ not go to Rotary anymore? Apparently everyone keeps asking, where's Russ? Not that I care, one way or another. But it does seem to me that you used to enjoy going, and I don't see why that, of all things, should have to change. And please don't say I don't see the point, Russ, because I hate it when you say that.
I wasn't going to say...
Because for that matter, what is the point of anything enjoyable, really? Why not just sit in a chair all day and wait for the end of the world? But I don't intend to live the remainder of my life that way, and I would think that you could take notice of the fact that talking that way frightens me.
Stoker residence.
I'm not trying to frighten you.
Who may I ask is calling, please?
Ulaanbaatar.
Excuse me, Miss Stoller.
Who is it?
Mr. Linden wanted to talk to you.
For the love.
Tell him I'll call him back.
It's not one thing, it's another.
Mr. Linden, she wonders if she could call you back.
I just meant that people are concerned about you, and
Well, what is the nature of their concern?
I don't see the point of spurning their good intentions.
Gee whiz, I'm just reading a magazine.
He says he's at a payphone.
Just say we're occupied.
No, it's all right. I'll take it. Thank you, Francine. I'm just repeating what Barbara said. Hello?
Barely know the woman.
Oh, no, we're just in a state of disarray here, Carl.
Somehow I spurned her.
Ding dong!
Hey, Dad.
May one intrude, he politely asked.
Jim's at the door.
Carl, I can't hear what you're saying.
Russ, my friend, I am crossing the threshold.
Hey, Jim.
Holy Toledo Jiminy Christmas.
Dev's on the phone.
I hate to be the one to break it to you, buddy, but it looks like someone made off with your stuff.
Sort of discombobulated.
Oh, no, I don't think so, Carl. Not today.
It's not the big day, is it?
No, Monday.
No, it's just that Ross is feeling a little under the weather.
Piece of advice, watch out when you start lifting things. Learned that the hard way last month.
Is that right?
Oh yeah. Judy says, Jim, I gotta have me this spin-it piano, a task which naturally falls to me.
But if it's absolutely necessary.
And there I am with that thing, halfway up the front steps and me underneath. And it wasn't the weight, but the angle.
All right, Carl.
Which is why they tell you to bend the knees.
Well, will you look at what the cat dragged in?
What was that about?
Bev, I am trying to bestow the pearls of my wisdom upon this man.
He's not coming here, is he?
I don't know. You know, Carl.
Carl Lindner.
Bev.
Oh my gosh, get a look at Betsy lately?
Oh, I know.
Give that girl a wide berth.
Jim, would you like some iced tea?
Maybe call him back and ask him to come
It was a
later.
oh, I know. Now wait, now Jim. I am going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
And don't help him. Now, Jim, I would like you to tell Russ what you think the word Neapolitan means.
She thought that it was.
Shh! You're not allowed to say.
Well, that'd be your basic vanilla strawberry.
No.
Yeah.
Derivation.
I told her what
Well, I think it's Naples, isn't it? Or Napoli, as we like to say.
You two are cheating.
Oh.
And well, Ross, he's in a funny mood. He keeps saying Ulan Bator.
What's that? Capital in Nepal?
Mongolia.
Mongolia. So then what's the Nepalese? Do you say Nepalese?
I hope we don't say Neapolitan.
Kathmandu.
Kathmandu.
I don't know how you two know these things.
Miss Stola?
Knowledge is power, Bev.
Well, I choose to remain powerless. Do it again.
Do what?
How you said it.
No.
Do it, Ross.
No.
Do it for Jim.
Bev.
Why not?
Sorry, Jim.
Why for me but not for him?
Well, for one thing, because it's not funny.
Excuse me. I'm fixing to go soon, so if you need something else.
Oh, one more thing, Francine. Do you know the big trunk? that's
No,
upstairs?
Bev.
She doesn't mind.
Just told you I'm doing it.
You said it's a two-person job, and there's two of you right
What's the
here.
emergency?
Would have come to your services there,
No,
only
no,
I'm
no, no.
under
no.
doctor's orders, believe it or not.
It's just that I'm needing to leave by 3:30.
All right.
Francine, I'm going to move the Clybourne trunk.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what I get for trying.
So,
Jim, have you had any lunch? Would you like some?
no.
Since I guess we're cleaning out the larder, and apparently Ross is eating every last thing in the icebox, so you'll have to fight him for the ice cream.
Not for me.
Can't pack ice cream in a suitcase.
Ice cream in a Did you hear what he just said?
Man's got a point.
Ice cream in a How does he think of these things?
Not unless you're moving to the North Pole.
Oh, thank goodness we're not moving south.
That'd be a mess. No question.
Oh, well, I'm going to go see what we do have.
What, are you coming down with something?
Who?
Bev said under the weather.
Me?
And here you sit in your PJs.
No. Took the day to truck coming, so.
I gotcha.
Couple of days off.
Playing hooky.
No.
Bev's your alibi.
Just giving her a hand with stuff.
And here you are, hard at work as I see.
No, I just.
Kidding you.
Yeah.
Would have come to your aid there, only I'm dealing with a little issue.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, piano I told you about.
Right?
Do you ever need to wear a truss? Ever wear one of those?
I don't recall.
You could call if you did.
It's nothing.
You are a fortunate man.
I hear you.
Bend the knees or suffer the consequences.
Yep.
So, Monday you said?
Yep.
Off to the hinterlands?
Monday it is.
Jim, was that a yes or a no on the iced tea?
I would not say no to that.
Ross?
I believe Russ is declining your gracious offer.
I thought as much.
So, Monday,
Indeed.
head him up, move him out.
Yep.
And when do you start that new Glen Meadows office?
Monday after that.
And how's that shaping up?
Oh boy, now that's a nice setup.
I betcha.
And spacious, that's the thing. And carpeted. And I gotta look at that office they're gonna put me in. I'll tell you what I thought to myself. I thought, what the heck are you gonna do with all this space? Corner office, window, two sides, but the space is the primary. That is just an extravagant amount of space.
Elbow room.
And the other thing is, once we get situated up at the new place, the time it's gonna take me, driveway to parking lot. You know how long that's gonna take?
5 minutes.
6.5.
Close enough.
Timed it, door to door.
Roll out of bed and boom.
And Tom Perricone, I don't know if you know Tom, colleague of mine.
Oh.
Anyway, he's relocating up to the same office, and they live right down here off of Larrabee. You know how long that's going to take him on the expressway?
That's a drive.
35 minutes, and that's no traffic.
Well, Judy and I are sure gonna miss having the two of you around.
Well, yeah.
And how's Bev doing?
Well, you know, Bev loves a project.
Keep her occupied.
Mind occupied.
What, does she worry a lot?
No, no more than
About you?
me.
You seem good to me.
No, I just meant, you know how she gets.
Sure.
Overexcited,
I can see that.
worked up over things, minor things.
Things like?
Oh, you know.
Not calling yourself a minor thing, are you?
Jim, I didn't, I meant things
Do
like...
you consider yourself a minor thing?
Jim, I didn't... Well, actually, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think any of us are particularly... Did Bev ask you to come over?
Nope.
I mean, good to see you. Great to see you.
I mean, we ran into each other a couple of days ago. Got to talking.
Uh-huh.
A little about you, since she cares about you.
Right. What the heck's she doing in there?
Everybody cares about you, Russ.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what I think. And I'm not a psychiatrist or anything, but it seems to me a lot of people these days have a tendency to brood about things, which, if you ask me, is, well, short answer is not productive. And what I were to say to these people, were I to have a degree in psychiatry, my advice would be maybe to get off your rear end and do something.
Huh.
Be my solution.
Uh-huh.
But what do I know?
Well, I think you know plenty.
Hey, Bev!
Like, I think you know that your son was a good man. No matter what, hero to his country, nothing changes that.
Yep.
And I think you know that sometimes maybe talking about things, painful things...
Say, you don't happen to have a degree in psychiatry either, do you, Jim? No? Just checking.
We all suffer, you know. Maybe not like you and Bev.
But see, since what I'm trying to do here, since I'm just minding my own business,
But it
it sort of
doesn't
seems to
hurt
me you might
to,
save yourself the effort of worrying about things that you don't need to concern yourself with. And furthermore,
He's in a
if
better
you keep
place,
going
Russ.
on about these things, Jim. Well, I hate to have to put it to you this way. What I think I might have to do is politely ask you to, well, to go fuck yourself.
Not sure there's a polite way to ask it.
Okay? So,
I just can't believe Kenneth would have wanted his own father to...
yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Okay, so wait. So if it's Napoli in Italian, then wouldn't adding an E before the A just seem so... What's happening?
Bev, I believe I will
What
hit the
are
road.
you, Ross?
Going upstairs.
What happened?
Not to worry.
What did you do?
Another time.
Come back here.
No, Russ made his feelings perfectly clear.
Why are you being like this?
In no uncertain terms.
What's going on now?
Terms may be more appropriate for the locker room than the...
Do you see? Do you see? I told you he uses these ugly words in other people's presence, and I am not some kind of matron, but what in the world is wrong with civility?
Honey, I am not going to stand here with you and Jim and discuss private matters.
You're being
Matters that are
ugly,
between me and the
I
memory
don't
of my
like
son.
ugliness. I think his mind
If
has
the
been
two of
affected.
you want
I really
to
do.
discuss Kenneth on your own time, if that brings you some sort of comfort.
And what is wrong with comfort? We're not allowed any comfort anymore.
Well, Kenneth didn't get any comfort. Now did he?
He was sick, Russ. And for you to use nasty words to Jim.
Nothing I haven't heard before.
Changing my shirt.
I was in the service too, you know.
All right. And remind me again, how many people did you kill?
For God's sake, stop it.
Sat behind a desk, didn't you? Goddamn coward.
Hello? Anybody home?
Afternoon.
How do you do? I'm just here to,
Francine! Albert's here! Yes, ma'am. I'm coming. She's on her way.
thank you, ma'am.
Albert, would you care to wait inside?
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
I bet it's warm out there, isn't it?
Oh, yes it is.
Albert, can I offer you some iced tea?
No. Thank you, though.
Well, I'm sure she'll be right along.
Thank you.
I think it's time for me.
Please don't go. Please don't. I don't want to be alone with him. It makes me feel so alone.
You're not
The
alone.
way he just sits up all night. And last night he was just sitting there at 3 a.m. and I say to
do.
him, hey, don't you feel sleepy? Do you want to take a Sominex or play some cards maybe? And he says, I don't see the point. As if there has to be some grand justification for everything that, oh wait, yoo-hoo!
It's all right.
Is something wrong?
No.
She said she's on her way.
I can wait outside.
Francine! I'm coming. Oh, here she is.
I'm sorry, I'm just moving a little slower than usual.
And here's Albert, waiting so patiently. If only I had door-to-door service like Francine.
So I'll see you Monday then?
Oh, Albert, isn't it just a catastrophe in here?
Oh, yes it is.
I tell you, I don't know what I would do without a friend like Francine here. And on a Saturday, she's such a treasure. What on earth are we going to do up there without her?
Well, I trust y'all can work things out.
And maybe on Monday we can see about that big trunk. Why don't we?
We'll make sure we do that.
I would do it myself, but I'm not a big strapping man like Albert here.
I would have come to your services only.
No. It's Francine and I can manage.
What's it, a trunk you said?
A footlocker.
Where's it at?
No. We just have to bring it down the stairs.
Oh, I don't mind.
Thank you. But no.
But definitely Monday.
These stairs here?
Oh, no. I mean, it wouldn't take but 2 minutes.
It's just that I've got these things that I gotta take care of.
I can put them in the car.
Oh! Got yourself a car?
Yes, sir.
What's that, a Pontiac?
Yes, sir.
It's just that I'm afraid we're gonna be late.
Late for what?
To the place we gotta be.
The place?
Remember?
What are you talking?
I'm sorry.
They said 2 minutes is all.
Well, I've got my hands full.
I just said I could put them in the car.
I can put them in the car. I can do that.
Did you get the chafing dish?
No. Man. Thank you, though.
Be right back.
Unexpected.
Hello, Carl.
Biff! Voila!
Excuse us if you don't mind.
Oh, not at all. After you, sir.
What is the matter with you?
Jim too. Hello, lad. Carl.
Come on in, Carl.
Could do that. However, you'll recall, Bev, that Betsy currently happens to be, how shall we say?
Oh, do you mean it's almost that time?
Point being, she did accompany me.
What do you mean she's in the car?
She is.
For heaven's sakes, Carl, don't leave her in a hot car.
Well, that was my thinking.
Bring her in with you.
Will do.
Of all things.
Back in a flash.
You changed your shirt. I know I'm being silly. I know I am, but
Not at all.
it's just
Not in
that
the least.
after 2.5 years, you would think that with a little bit of time, because that's supposed to be the thing that helps, isn't it? Just a little bit of time. And I just thought that with the new job and with the move, that somehow you would start to let go of. Where are you going? The basement?
Yep.
Are you looking for something?
Yep. Here we are then.
Oh, there she is.
Albert.
Well, just look at you, my goodness. You are just the biggest thing.
I know, it's true. I saw me.
Took the liberty of not ringing the bell.
Betsy, you know Jim.
Haji.
Indeed she does.
Oh, what is that about? Oh,
What did I do? Did I mistake?
It seems, Jim, that you told Betsy that she was expecting a storm.
no, what he meant Storm! You meant storm, didn't you?
I need my umbrella.
Oh, umbrella. I understood
I
that.
have to check the weather report.
Oh, Storm, I'm going to tell that to Russ.
Must have rusty fingers.
Ta?
Jim says his fingers are rusty.
See, she understands.
Gee, maybe you need soap.
Soap for the Russ.
No, I understand.
And there's the man himself. Thought he'd absconded.
The Linders are here.
Hey, Laura.
Betsy, you see my gloves anywhere?
Tunneling to China, are we?
Pair of work gloves?
No, I just got through saying how Russ and I never entertain, and here it is, a regular neighborhood social.
Well, we shan't be long.
Carl, do you suppose Betsy would like some iced tea?
Bet, point to me.
Betsy, look at Carl.
Ben wants to know if you want some iced tea to drink.
Oh, yippee. Done you back.
You know the gloves I'm talking about?
Well, Carl's here, so I thought you were going to talk to Carl.
What the heck is going on?
Nothing. Now, we two girls are going to the refreshment stand, so you boys will have to manage on your own.
Have no fear.
So, Betsy, how are you feeling? Are you tired?
Oh, bye, Beth.
Now, Russ, Bev tells me you're indisposed, and normally not contagious, is it?
Is what?
Hate for Betsy to come into contact with any.
Not contagious.
Can't be too careful. Or possibly one can. Anyway, hate to commandeer your Saturday afternoon here. Man's home, as they say. But as we haven't seen your face at Rotary of late, I
What's
thought I
on your
might
mind,
intrude
Carl?
upon the sanctity of... What'd you say?
What's on your mind?
Well, firstly, may I sit?
Yeah.
Carl will be taking my leave.
Not on my account.
Parish business.
Well, truth to tell, Jim, we might actually benefit from your insight here. If it's not present.
Actually.
Not to usurp your authority, Russ. Your castle, you are the king.
What's on your mind?
Is it safe?
Anywhere.
No breakables? And Jim?
Minute or two.
Good. Good. So,
Iced tea for you, Carl?
problem being is that I do have some sensitivity to the cold beverages, so my question would be, is the tea chilled? By which I mean, has it been in the frigid air?
No, Carl.
Then if I might have a serving minus the ice, that would suit me fine.
All right, Carl.
Anyway, Russ, if you don't mind, I would like to proceed directly to, dare I say, the crux. So, first and foremost, as far as matters of community are concerned, I have always maintained
All
that...
right, you boys.
What? Is something...
She's fine, Carl.
Is that tea she's drinking?
Yes, Carl.
Slow sips. Small sips.
All right, Carl.
You were saying?
Tad overwrought, I suppose, but with Betsy's condition, well, given our history of 2 years ago, I don't know, Russ, if you knew the details of that.
Some. Yep.
And Jim, a source of great comfort for us during all of that. It was the umbilical cord, nature of the problem.
I knew that.
Wrapped around the... Exactly. So no one at fault, no one to blame. But these tragedies do come along, as you and Bev well know.
What are you hoping for, boy or girl?
No, touch wood. No tempting fate.
There you go.
Not to compare our little setback to what the two of you endured.
Something about a crux?
Right you are. Well, to backtrack, I take it, Russ, you're aware the Community Association meets the first Tuesday of each month. And as I'm sure you know, Don Skinner is part of the steering committee. And somehow it came to Don's attention at this late juncture that Ted Driscoll had found a buyer for this house. And I must say it had come as something of a shock when Don told us what sort of people they were.
What sort of people are they?
Well, I suppose I'm forced to consider the possibility you actually don't know.
Don't know what.
Well, I mean, that they're colored.
Who are?
The family. It's a colored family. So, I contacted them.
Wait.
You're saying Ted never bothered to tell you?
Sir gave Ted free rein.
Carl, I don't think you're right on this one.
Oh, but I am. Oh, I've spoken with the family.
Bev?
On the telephone?
Oh, no. As a matter of fact, Betsy and I have just come directly from, well, from Hamilton Park.
What is it?
Come here, Seth.
Now, Russ, you know as well as I do that this is a progressive community.
What is he talking about?
If you take the case of Gelman's Grocery, now, that's a fine example of how we've all embraced a different way of thinking.
Slow down a second. Bev, get Ted Driscoll on the phone.
What for?
Carl's claiming.
Russ, I've met personally with the family.
What family?
He claims this family, the family to whom Ted sold the house.
A colored family.
Sorry, don't we say Negro now?
You say Negro.
It's just
I say
common
them
courtesy.
interchangeably.
I'm not telling you
Of course
how
I
to
say
do
Negro
your
to them.
business.
No, I think we both know what you're doing.
And furthermore, I don't think Ted would pull this kind of stunt.
Yes, we all admire Ted, but I don't think any of us would accuse him of putting the community's interests ahead of his own.
Carl.
And I don't think any of us have forgotten what happened with that family that moved on to Costner Avenue last year. Now, Costner Avenue is one thing, but Clybourne Street.
Carl, are you sure?
I was sitting with them not 2 hours ago.
Well, isn't it possible that they're, I don't know, Mediterranean or something?
They are. They are 100%. And I don't know how much time any of you have spent in Hamilton Park, but Betsy was waiting in the car, and I can tell you, there are some unsavory characters.
Carl.
But in the case of Gelman's, I think there was some mistrust at first, having been Kopechne's market for such a long time. But in the end of all, Murray Gelman found a way to fit in.
And they hired the Wheeler boy.
Is he the one with the...
He's the, you know.
And fitting into a community is really what it all comes down to.
What the heck's going on up there?
Now, some might say change is inevitable, and I can support that if it's change for the better. But what I can support is disregarding the needs of the people who live in a community.
Don't they have needs too?
Don't who?
The family.
Which family?
The family who,
The purchasers.
well, I mean, in principle, don't we all deserve, shouldn't we all have the opportunity
Well,
to...
Bev,
In principle, no question.
but you can't live in a principle, can you? You gotta live in a house.
And so do they.
Not in this house, they don't.
But the real question
And
is...
what happened to love thy neighbor? If we're being so principled.
Well, they would become our neighbors.
What about the neighbors you already have, Bev?
Well, I care for them too.
Well, I'm afraid you can't have it both ways.
Okay. Let's assume that...
Wait, why not?
Well, do the boundaries of the neighborhood extend indefinitely? Who shall we invite next? The Red Chinese?
But the key question is this.
Wait, but why not have it both ways?
Darling, I came to talk to Russ.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Why not if it would benefit someone?
But would they benefit?
If we could make them our neighbors.
But they won't be your neighbors, Bev. You're the ones moving away.
But the question is, and it's one worth asking.
Sorry to bother you.
Okay. Okay. Let's assume that your information is correct.
Everyone's fine, so why are you shouting?
Well, what did I tell you?
Please don't, they're just trying
I
to help.
told you I'd do it. You heard me plain as day.
咦，我去打。
A little trouble making the corner is all.
I'm sorry, it was heavy and I lost my
Just
grip.
leave the darn thing where it is.
Would you
Wait,
prefer if
cover
I
your
just
ears there.
this way a little distance?
Just leave it.
It's blocking the way.
I can step over it.
It's all right. I got it.
Anyway, let's not drag this out ad infinitum.
1 second, if I might. Sorry. Francine, is it?
Yes, sir.
We were just having a little conversation, and I was wondering if
No,
you might
don't.
spare a couple minutes of your time.
What good does that do? Go next door, talk to the Olsons, talk to those who stand to lose.
I want to pose you a little hypothetical. What if we were to say this? Let's imagine that you and your husband here had the opportunity to move from your current home into a different neighborhood. And let's say that neighborhood happened to be this one.
Oh, I don't think we could financially.
But for the sake of argument, let's say you had the wherewithal. Would this be the sort of neighborhood you'd find an attractive place in which to live?
This is so silly.
This is a very nice neighborhood.
No, I'm asking, would you family, I assume you have children?
3 children.
Oh, super. So, with your children, would this be the sort of place, bearing in mind that they too stand to be affected?
This is confusing things. It's confusing the issue.
This is a very lovely neighborhood.
No. Be honest. We want you to say.
I think what Jim is trying to say, in his way,
He means living next to white folks.
Well, yes.
Well,
Francine and I have, over the years, well, the two of us have shared so many wonderful... Do you remember that time that the squirrel came through the window?
yes, I do.
That was just the silliest. The two of us were just hysterical, weren't we?
Think of it this way.
We still laugh about that.
I think you'd agree. I'm assuming that in the world there exist certain differences. Agreed?
What sort of differences?
That people live differently
Yes,
from one another.
I agree with that.
Different customs, different foods even. And those different... Here's a funny... My wife, Betsy, now, Betsy's family happens to be Scandinavian. And on the holidays, they eat a thing known as lutefisk. And this is a dish which I can tell you is not to my liking at all. It's... Oh my goodness. Let's just say it's gelatinous.
Carl!
What's that?
Lutefisk?
What?
Carl, will you tell
In
her?
a moment.
I'll write it down.
So, certain groups, they tend to eat certain things. Am I right?
I've never had that dish.
But for example, if Mrs. Stoller here were to send you to shop at Gelman's. Now, when you're standing in the aisles at Gelman's, does it generally strike you as a kind of market where you could find the particular food your family enjoys?
Gelman's is a very nice store.
What if we were to say this?
Mr. Gelman is a very nice man.
But your preferred food items, would such things even be available at Gelman's?
Well, do they carry collards and pig feet? Because I sure couldn't shop nowhere and sell no pig feet.
I think Albert's being humorous here.
Luffy! I like Luffy.
But I will say this.
I like spaghetti and meatballs.
You do find differences in modes of worship. Take First Presbyterian. That's a church down in Hamilton Park where I've taken fellowship, and I can tell you the differences are notable.
Jim.
Not a value judgment, apples and oranges. Just as we have our organ here for your accompaniment at St. Thomas, well, down in First Presbyterian, they prefer a piano. And, well, on occasion, tambourines.
What's wrong with tambourines?
Nothing wrong.
I like tambourines.
I like tambourines as much as the next person.
Let me ask this. Excuse me. Francine, was it?
Yes, sir.
Francine, may I ask, do you ski?
Do
Or your husband?
I ski?
Either of you. Downhill ski.
No, we don't ski, no.
And this is my point. Children who attend St. Stanislaus, once a year we take the middle schoolers up to Indian Head Mountain. And I can tell you, in all my time there, I have not once seen a colored family on those slopes. Now, what accounts for that? Certainly not any deficit in ability. So, what I have to conclude is that for some reason, the pastime of skiing just doesn't appeal to the Negro community. And feel free to prove me wrong.
Carl.
But you'll have to show me where to find the skiing Negroes.
Let's modulate our voices, please.
It's sold, Carl. The house is sold.
I understand that.
The ink is dry.
And we all understand your reasons, and no one holds
Truck's
that
coming
against
Monday,
you.
and
Fully aware.
that's all there is to that.
However, there is one possibility, if you
No.
hear me out.
Don't see the point.
Because we went ahead and made a counteroffer to these people.
Who did?
The Community Association.
On this house?
Very reasonable offer.
But they just...
As opposed to
Hey,
the amount for
Carl.
which you offered the
Well, we're
property,
entitled
Russ,
to give it
which
away
is
if that's our
far below the
prerogative.
assessor's value for this type of residence, all of which is neither here nor there since the family rejected our offer. However,
Why are we even talking
Don
about
has
this?
pointed out to me that as seller of the property, you do have a 60-day option to place it in receivership with the transacting bank to indemnify yourself against liability. Now, that's generally with commercial properties.
No.
But in this case, I believe that inasmuch as Ted deceived you about the buyers, that the bank could still vault the sale.
Carl.
And it would be a matter of a simple signature, if I could finish.
Prefer if you didn't.
Ka, and for all we know, this family could be perfectly lovely.
Well, that's hardly the point, is it?
Well, maybe it's a point to consider.
Bev, I am not here to solve society's problems. I'm simply telling you what will happen, and it will happen as follows. First, one family will leave, and then another, and each time they do, the value of these properties will decline. And once that process begins, once you break that egg, Bev, all the king's horses, etc., and some of us, you see, those of us who can't simply move at the drop of a hat, well, then those folks are left holding the bag, and it's a fairly worthless bag at that point.
I don't like the tone that this is taking.
Okay, I tell you what.
Let's imagine if the tables were turned. Suppose a number of white families started marching into their community. Well, that might actually be to your advantage, but
Carl,
you do see my point.
I need you to stop now.
Sorry. Maybe not
All right.
handled with the
But maybe time
utmost
to
delicacy.
let it drop.
I mean, to turn it into a public referendum. But you do understand.
No. That's it. You hear me? Done. All done.
Oh, is it 4 o'clock?
Well, Russ, if I might.
No.
If I can just say this.
No,
Well, if
Carl.
you let me.
No more.
Bev, I get the impression your husband is telling me I'm not permitted to speak.
Don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I'm going to ask you to at least keep an open mouth.
Carl, what did I just ask you?
Well, I think you're being a tad unreasonable.
I think we've reached the end of this particular discussion.
Is that right?
Afraid it is.
Just like that.
Just like that.
And what about this?
No, Carl?
Well, I believe the Constitution endows me with the right to speak.
Then you can go and do that in your own home.
Bev? He's not being serious, is it?
Carl,
Am I being silenced?
I'm not going to ask you again.
Oh, this is a new experience for me.
So be it.
Bit like the Soviet Union. I am truly surprised. And a
Surprise.
little disappointed.
Sorry to disappoint you.
A real shame. For all concerned.
Well, it's the way things go sometimes.
Apparently so.
Anyway, appreciate you stopping by.
I see.
Betsy too.
Very well.
Ka.
Okay then? Okay.
Ka, what, Papa?
Miss Stola, if we're done talking here.
Yeah, you know, I think I will take this
However-
opportunity. Carl, don't.
I don't imagine that this particular family are entirely aware of why they found such an agreeable price for the property. Don't suppose they know that aspect of it, do they? And let's say someone was to inform them of those facts. Let's say that was to happen.
You really don't know when to quit, do you?
Because I think that might be an interesting conversation to have.
So I'll see you Monday.
You go right ahead and you do what you think is right. But right now, what
Well, I
you're
have
going
a
to do is you're going to take
responsibility to
yourself
the community
out
as
that
a whole.
door
I
and
can't
out of this
afford to
horse.
simply pursue my own selfish interests.
Man, what a son of a bitch.
Russ, don't.
If you honestly think that I give a rat's ass about the community.
Okay.
You mean the community, where every time I go to get a haircut, they sit and stare like the goddamn Grim Reaper just walked through the barbershop door? That community?
My wife is too
Where
busy
Bev
making
stops at
big
Gelman's for a
words
quart of
for
milk, and they look at her like she's got the goddamn plague? Is that the community I'm supposed to be looking out for?
soon to be children.
The Apostle Matthew.
Oh, no. I'm talking now.
I'm ashamed of every one of us. Ka.
Betsy, wait in the car.
Well, you go right ahead, Carl. And you tell these people whatever you'd like. And while you're at it, why don't you tell them about everything that the community did for our son? I mean, Jesus Christ. Murray Gelman goes out and hires a goddamn retarded kid, but our boy, sorry, no work for you, bub!
People were frightened, Russ.
Of what? That he was gonna snap? That he was gonna go off and kill another bunch of people? You send him off to defend the goddamn country. He does as he's told, only to find out the kinds of sons of bitches that he's defending.
He did not do the things that they claimed he did. He would never.
Of course he did, Bev. He confessed to what he did. You can sit around all day with your head in the sand. It doesn't change the facts of what he did.
Not to innocent people in that country, and not to women, and not to
Christ's
children.
sake.
I mean, he lost
What do you
his
think
temper.
happens in a goddamn war? They told him to secure the territory, not go around knocking on doors asking for permission. And if he was man enough to admit what he did, then maybe you ought to have the decency to do the same damn thing.
You remember. Francine remembers what he was like. How he loved to read and think. That's just the kind of boy he was.
Yes, ma'am.
And the drawings. The most realistic drawings. I think a lot of people didn't realize.
Well, it was never my intention to stir up
Oh,
such aggravating
no, I
feelings,
think
but
maybe
there
it
a
was.
situation-
Maybe if you had known my son a little better. If anyone had taken the time. The way Francine took the time.
Here you go, Carl.
What
So
are
read a
you?
little something, shall we?
Stop it.
Dear Mom and Dad,
Stop it.
I know you'll probably blame
Russ,
yourself.
Stop it.
I think
Russ,
you're unstable.
don't.
I really do.
Do you see? Do you see what this is like? Well, I refuse to live this way any longer.
Dear Mom and Dad,
Russ,
I know you'll probably blame yourselves for what I've done.
I need you to calm down.
And you can go fuck yourself.
Well, that is over the line, mister. That is not language I will tolerate in front of my wife.
She's deaf, Carl. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make you 10 copies of this letter, and you can hand them out at Rotary. Better yet, put it in the newsletter. Rotary News. Kid comes home from Korea, goes upstairs and wraps an extension cord around his neck. Talk that over at the lunch buffet next week. And Francine coming in at 9 in the morning to find him there. Will you be my guest, Carl? And you tell these people whatever you'd like, and you see if that stops them. But I'll tell you this, I don't care if 100, you banging tribesmen with a bone through the nose, overrun this goddamn place, because I am through with every one of you! You motherfucking sons of bitches! Every one of you!
I think we should all bow our heads.
Maybe I should punch you in the face.
Easy now,
Oh, no! Don't you touch me! Laying your hands on me, no sir, not in my house, you don't!
I'm all right.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Who are you talking to?
Who do you think?
Very manly, Russ. Threatening a minister.
Why are you talking to me?
Very masculine.
I think they're all a bunch of idiots. But who's the biggest idiot of them all to let yourself get dragged into the middle of it? What you gonna be now? The big peacemaker come to save the day?
You're mentally unstable, Russ?
Let them knock each other's brains out for all I care. I'm done working for these people 2 days from now, and you've never worked for them at all. So what the hell do you care what they do? And now, I'm going to the goddamn car!
It's all right. Nothing broken.
Don't mind that, but thank you so much.
No trouble.
And do let me give you some money for your help.
Oh, no, ma'am. That's all right.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, here, at least let me give you 50 cents. Or,
No, you keep
or
your money.
How about $1? Take $1. Or here, take
Ma'am?
2. I don't care. It's just money.
Happy to help.
You have to take something. Please take
No,
something.
ma'am, but
Did you see this chafing dish?
we got plenty of dish.
No, not one of these. Francine told me.
Oh, that's very kind
She
of you,
said you
ma'am.
don't
But,
have one, and someone should take it and make
but
use
we
of
don't
it.
need it,
Let me
ma'am.
wrap it for
Ma'am, we don't want your things. Please. We got our own things.
Well,
Trying to explain to you.
well, if that's the attitude, then I just don't know what to say anymore. I really don't. If that's what we're coming to.
Ma'am, everybody's sorry for your loss.
I would be so proud, so honored to have you and Francine as our neighbors. And your 2 children.
3 children.
Maybe we should learn what the other person eats. Maybe that would be the solution to some of the... Maybe if one day we could all sit down at one big table and...
Evening, ma'am.
find the gloves?
Under the sink.
And where are you going to dig the hole?
Under that, what's that big tree called?
The crepe myrtle.
Under that.
It's kind of late now, isn't it?
Tomorrow. I lost my temper there.
Well, that's what happens, as we know.
You know what I did the other day? Up there at the house?
What?
Timed it. Driveway to the office. You know how long that's going to take me?
5 minutes?
6.5.
Well, you'll have a nice, leisurely breakfast.
Read the paper, cup of coffee, then bang. 5:07, right back at your doorstep.
And what'll I do in between?
Oh, gee, I guess any number of, any number of
Things,
projects.
projects.
Keep you occupied.
I suppose you're right.
Lombator.
Stars above, but not for me.
Everybody good?
Sound good?
Goodbye, me.
Go for it.
So I guess we should start right at the top.
Question?
And I know we all got questions,
Terminology.
so let's go one at a time. Steve,
The term frontage.
right?
Frontage means
Oh, where are we looking?
first page.
Frontage means, did you want to,
Means the portion facing the street.
thus front,
Portion of the property or
Of the
portion of the
structure.
structure.
the facade,
I'm still not seeing
Where it says
Second paragraph.
bottom of the page,
minimum recess of frontage.
meaning distance from,
From the edge of the property.
exactly,
Is what?
is the recess.
Not the front.
The frontage is what you're measuring to.
Got it.
I'm confused.
And the edge of the property is measured from the curb? Correct.
Not the sidewalk?
The curb.
Check, I don't think you're right.
Up to and including.
But the sidewalk falls into the easement.
Right?
So if it's part of the easement, then it can't be part of the property per se.
By definition, the property is inclusive of the easement. The easement is legal passage across the property.
I don't think you're right.
My understanding has always been, including.
Sorry, but does any of that really matter?
It might.
I mean, I don't see how any of
The
that really
language?
impacts the outcome of the.
But I don't want to get
problem
into
that
a
we're
situation
trying-
where we thought we found a solution only to find out we're screwed because of the language.
Wait.
The language is clear to me.
And who's being screwed?
No.
No one's screwing
I didn't
anyone.
mean like screwed over. I meant like maybe we screwed ourselves.
How does that address the height issue?
The elevation.
But if the elevation is conditional on the perimeter, right?
That's the
If
idea.
I'm reading correctly?
But the perimeter isn't changing.
Well, we're saying if it could.
But we've established that it can't.
So let's say that it did.
But I'm saying that it won't.
But I'm saying what if?
But I'm saying, what did we discuss?
Okay? Do you have to say it like that?
Like what?
In that way?
What way?
It's Hector. I better.
Sorry.
Did I say something in a way?
Not that I noticed.
Hi, Hector.
The architect.
Really ought to be here. No, we're doing it now. No, we're doing it at the house.
Well, if you'd rather wait and do this when it can be.
No.
Well, I think we both know what's gonna happen.
I don't
He's
give
gonna
a-
go. What?
I
I'm
think
just
he's
telling you
working
what
for us,
to
right? Not the other way
expect.
around.
No, we're here with Tom. Tom, I forgot your last name.
Driscoll.
Driscoll. So we're here with Tom Driscoll and the people from the neighborhood property owners.
And can I just say, I am in love with this neighborhood.
Great neighborhood.
Totally great.
Well, that is what we're trying to prevent.
And the thing for me is my current commute, which is slowly eroding my soul.
How far are you coming from?
Glen Meadows?
Oof.
Yeah. And if you work downtown,
We're downtown.
Donnelly and Faber?
On Jackson?
Jackson,
Donnelly?
East of State.
I'm across the street.
Where?
You know the big red building?
I ate lunch in that building.
Capital Equities?
Kidding me.
I kid you not.
And from here to downtown, it's what, like 5 minutes?
You ever meet Kyle Hendrickson?
I work with Kyle Hendrickson.
No, but I do think you're being a little paranoid because we're not going to let that happen.
Let me talk to him.
I'm not going to let
Kathy.
that happen.
Let me do it.
Hang on, Lindsay wants to.
Hector!
I'm obviously not equipped to deal with.
I thought you were in Seattle.
What's the problem?
Oh, no,
I'll tell
no,
you
no. Kathy's here. Kathy's not gonna let that.
Spanish.
2 seconds.
Spaniards?
The architect, you know?
Spanish.
Temperamental.
Toro, toro.
Exactly.
Seemed cool to me.
You talk to him?
On the phone, yeah.
He's a good guy.
We were in Spain last year.
Oh, is that right?
Me, my husband, Spain, Morocco.
I just meant with all the paperwork and everything, and then we add him into the mix.
I hear you.
Cooler heads, you know?
Prevail.
Right.
Spain's fantastic. We did 4 days in Barcelona, saw the cathedral, the big, crazy,
Sagrada Familia.
that, which I loved. Likewise the food, which I could happily eat every day for the rest of my life.
I hear ya.
Then to Morocco, to what's it? To Marrakesh, which, oh, I don't know how you feel about heat, but oh my God. And they keep giving you hot tea? Like, how refreshing. And then something about how you're supposed to sweat in order to feel cool, which you'll have to explain to me one day.
Hot in here.
Very hot.
Oh, then to top it all off, I don't want to bore you with the whole ugly saga, but when they tell you not to eat the produce, take heed.
Like Mexico.
Because if you ever need to know where to find a doctor at 2 in the morning in the capital of Morocco when your husband is doubled over with dysentery, give me a call.
Said 2 seconds.
Went to Prague last April.
I love Prague. Prague is beautiful.
Very pretty.
The architecture.
That bridge.
And it's small is what's nice. You can do it all in a couple of days.
Yeah.
I just really want to say something before we get. Can I? I mean, I didn't.
Do,
Yeah.
by all means.
Yeah, please.
I just think it's very important for me to express. I mean, before we start getting into the details.
Sorry, but Maybe we should wait for Lindsay, don't you think? If it's something important. Otherwise,
Do you mind?
wind up repeating yourself.
That okay with you?
That's fine with me.
But hold that thought.
I will.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, maybe we should look at page 3. Catch her up when she, if that's okay with you guys.
Maybe we
maybe.
should.
Just because I gotta be out of here by like 4.
forge ahead.
Good.
Page 3.
Okay.
Rabat, by the way.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Couldn't hear you.
The capital.
Of what?
Morocco. She said Marrakesh.
It is the capital.
No.
I just said Marrakesh.
Rabat.
I don't think you're right,
No, it is.
but possibly.
Definitely.
Anyway,
Or wait, is it Tangiers?
Nope.
Why am I thinking Tangiers?
No, no.
Oh, maybe we just landed in. Oh no, wait, no, we didn't.
Oh, what's the capital?
I know what it is. Tangiers is the old capital.
No.
Yeah, the historic capital.
So sorry.
Everything all right?
Oh, it's fine. It's just, he said he was going to be in Seattle, so we went ahead and scheduled this without him, but now he's feeling a little proprietary. Anyway, blah blah.
so we skipped ahead.
Great.
Page 3.
Middle of 3.
And since I think we'd all basically agreed
Sorry.
that
What's the capital of Morocco?
The what?
The capital
What are you talking
of
about?
Morocco.
I have no idea.
Just. Yes, you do.
Oh,
I said Marrakesh.
No, no,
Marrakesh, right.
No, Rabat.
Whatever.
so.
Trying to figure out what it was. Sorry.
Why?
She said she went to the capital of Morocco. And
So?
it's not the capital.
Well, maybe they changed it.
Who?
The Moroccan.
So what?
Whatever it is now.
Which is Rabat.
Okay.
So,
Or wait, you know what it is? It's Timbuktu.
No.
The old capital, the historic. That's why because it was part of our package.
Timbuktu is in Mali.
No, but the ancient capital.
Yeah, of Mali.
I thought Mali was in the Pacific.
In.
Well, where do they have shadow puppets?
Are you talking about Mali?
Same difference.
No. The difference is they
And
happen to
who
be
gives
signed
a shit anyway?
So it's not
Steve,
good.
Steven, it's whatever you want it to be,
Could you possibly
okay?
not talk to me like a child?
Excuse me.
I was hoping that I could say something if I could.
Oh.
right. Sorry. Lena had wanted to mention something and it sounded kind of important, so.
But you don't gotta ask permission.
I was trying to be polite.
We're totally rude. It's my
No,
family,
you're not.
Irish Catholic, you know? Marty.
Please, my husband, half Jewish, half Italian.
Is that right?
Get a word in
I'll
edgewise.
believe that.
Anyway, Lena.
Thank you.
Wait, Lena, right?
Lena.
Short for Lenora?
No,
I knew a Lenora.
it was my great aunt's name.
Anyway, Lena, Kevin,
Kathy.
Kathy, Lindsay, Steve,
Tom.
Don't forget Tom.
Tom we know.
Ding dong.
So,
Hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
is there a Steve anywhere?
Yeah.
You Steve?
Yeah.
Hector says that there's a problem. Talk to Steve.
That's me.
How you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Mercy.
I've been
Fine.
better.
Doing all right.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So we're digging that trench back there, you know?
Yeah.
Out and back,
Yeah.
for the conduit line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause before you hook up that line, you gotta bury that conduit.
Yeah.
In order to dig that trench, that's why we're taking out that tree, right?
Right.
That tree back there?
Yeah.
Because those roots, they go down maybe like 8 feet.
Yeah.
That's why we're taking out that tree. Right? You know that thing is dead?
Hey, maybe we oughta. Sorry. Whoops. No, it's just two things at once.
We can wait.
No. You guys keep. You wanna show me?
Let me show you.
Let me take a look.
Show you what we're dealing. Tell you one thing, though, it is hot out here.
Now, I don't remember what we were.
Page 3.
Right.
Middle of 3.
So, knowing as we do that the height continues to be this sticking point, I mean, the reason the petition was drawn up this way in the first place, I mean, nobody wants to be inflexible. But the idea was that by setting a few basic guidelines up front, whereby if, say, the height is the problem, like it is here, then one option would be to reduce the total exterior volume, like your husband was saying. And that's the rationale behind the table at the bottom of the page. And what those figures mean essentially is that with each additional foot of volume beyond the maximum limit, there'd be a corresponding reduction in volume. And those numbers are based on the original structures, which are relatively consistent over the 12-block radius, and of which this house is a fairly typical example. Now,
Except we know they're not.
not what?
Not consistent.
Saying relatively.
A lot of variables.
You know that.
Size of the lot for starters.
Right.
Year of construction.
Right. But the hope was that by setting a few basic guidelines up front, hopefully we avoid this kind of situation in the future, because obviously it's a pain in the ass for everyone. Now, assuming the Landmarks Committee passes this part of the petition next week,
Assuming.
safe assumption.
And if the Landmarks Committee really wants to pick that fight with the zoning department, that is their business, but that is a matter of if and when.
Why is this confrontational?
Because somebody might have raised these issues when the plans went to the zoning department 5 months ago.
Kathy,
I mean, nobody had any objection back then.
can I say, we talked about renovation. We discussed it. Because these houses are so charming. And I know it's a shame, but when you figure in the crack in the subfloor and the cost of the lead abatement and in a market like this one, it just made more sense to start from scratch.
Right. But the Owners Association has a vested interest. Kevin and Lena called me up last month. They say, Tom, we've got a problem. These people are trying to build a house that's a full 15 feet taller
15?
than all the adjacent structures.
What a lot is zoned
inches.
for, Tom.
And I think we could all agree in the mutual benefit of maintaining the integrity, the architectural
You
integrity
wanna get that?
of the historically significant, god damn it, neighborhood. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well don't call me with that in the middle of a Saturday. We're gonna give it to Marlo. Because it's Marlo's account. What the fuck's Marlo? Sorry.
What's happening?
I don't know.
You know, I think it'd be a good idea if we all turned off our phones.
Excellent idea.
Get your problem solved?
Do what?
Out back.
Yeah, I don't know. They hit something.
What's something?
I don't know.
Was something dangerous?
I don't know.
Is it gonna explode?
It's not good. We're putting in a koi pond, and there's a filtration system that has to hook into the municipal. Anyway, they ran into some kind of whatever. So what's it, page 3?
But maybe wait for Tom
Standing right there.
if we're getting into the legal stuff.
I agree.
Because I'm not a lawyer.
I'm not a lawyer,
But Kathy's a
and
lawyer.
he's the one with the time issue.
As long as we're out by 4.
It's 3:30.
We'll be out by 4.
I'm so sorry about all this.
When's the baby due?
Oh, November.
Oh, in time for turkey.
I know.
Boy or girl?
Oh, no. I don't want to know. Ask Steve. Steve saw the ultrasound. La 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 la. Either way, as long as I tell you.
Not wood.
Something tells me it's a girl. You guys have kids?
3.
Oh, wow. Oh, great for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Kyle Hendrickson.
Kyle Hendrickson.
Who, may I add, kicked my ass in the 10th grade.
Who is this?
Wait. Little Kyle Hendrickson.
Like the one solitary black dude in my entire high school.
Kick your ass.
Publicly kicked.
Kyle Hendrickson is like what? Like 5'2"?
Wait, when?
5'5". JV wrestling. 10th grade.
I think that might officially make you
Pussy?
I think it might.
Who are you talking about?
Okay, you remember I ran into a guy?
No.
You remember last week? I said a guy from middle school?
No?
I was meeting you downtown. Oh, and he told me the joke. The
Right?
joke I told you.
I don't remember.
The joke about... Neither do I at the moment, but it was a joke we both thought was funny.
Okay.
Anyway, that guy. That is Kyle Hendrickson, who he works with.
Oh, glad we cleared that up.
Oh!
What?
Good joke.
What?
Remember?
What?
White collar criminal goes to jail, and they put him in a cell with this.
Oh, no?
Do you remember?
Oh. No.
What?
Mm-mm.
What?
How old are your kids?
9,
matter?
Oh, wow.
What's your problem?
Steve,
I was telling the joke.
later.
You said remind me what joke.
Okay.
But now I'm not allowed to tell it?
Stop a second.
Anyway, two guys are stuck in a jail cell.
I'm sorry, and I don't mean to keep interrupting, but can somebody please explain to me what it is we're doing here?
Just send me the fucking document.
I mean, I know I'm not the only person to take this situation seriously, and I don't like having to be this way. But I have been sitting here for the last 15 minutes waiting for a turn to speak.
Hey,
And meanwhile,
sorry.
nothing
I'm
seems
so
remotely
sorry,
to getting
Amelia.
accomplished.
And I agree.
And say what
And
you
can you please not tell me
I'm
when
not telling
they
you.
were having a conversation
And now they
and
stop.
I try not to intrude when people are in the middle of them?
Being friendly.
I'm not trying to be unfriendly.
No, it's us.
No, it's not.
No, it
You're
is.
being friendly.
I'm being friendly.
She's being friendly.
I'm being friendly.
If anybody's not being friendly,
Well, maybe the friendly thing to do would be for us to respect each other's time.
Yes.
Would that be all right?
Totally.
Yeah, sure.
So glad somebody finally
No,
had the
thank
balls
you.
to
You
say
guys,
it.
that was me.
I thought
It's my
you
fault.
Anyway,
All right. I have no way of knowing what sort of connection you have to the neighborhood where you grew up.
what the hell
just
is
shut
that?
the door. Just shut the fucking.
You guys park in the alley?
What?
Sorry, the neighborhood where?
And some of our concerns have to do with a particular period in history and the things that happened during that period in this community, both good, bad, and on a personal level, I just have a lot of respect for the people that went through those experiences and still managed to carve out a life for themselves and to create a community despite a whole lot of obstacles,
As well you should.
some of which still exist. And that's just a part of my history and my parents' history and honoring the connection to that history. And no one, myself included, likes having to dictate what you can or can't do with your own home. But there's just a lot of pride and a lot of memories in these houses. And for some of us, that connection still holds value, if that makes any sense.
Total sense.
This is to those of us who have remained,
Absolutely.
and respecting that memory. That has value too. At least that's what I believe, and that's what I've been wanting to say.
Can I ask a...
Let her finish.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm finished.
Right. So, when you use the word value,
Historical.
You read the petition?
yeah,
Spelled out pretty clearly.
right. But what I mean is, so you don't literally mean monetary value.
My great
Or
aunt
maybe you
was
do.
one of the first people of color. I mean, in a sense, she was a pioneer.
No, I understand, and correct me if, but it was my understanding that the value of these properties had gone up,
They have.
yours included,
That's true.
way up.
And we'd all like to keep it that way.
But you're not suggesting, are you, that when we build our house,
Look, I for one am really grateful for what you said. But this is why we sometimes feel defensive, you know? Because we love this neighborhood.
we do,
We completely do. And we would never want to carelessly
run roughshod?
over anyone. And I totally admit I'm the one who was resistant, especially with the schools and everything. But once I stopped seeing the neighborhood the way it used to be and could see it for what it is now and its potential.
Used to be what?
What do you mean?
What it used to
What
be?
you said about the history of,
Historically, but changing demographics.
although originally, wasn't it German predominantly?
German and Irish.
Depending how far back you,
Although it's funny because my father, even though he was German, but back when they were living here. Wait, did I know this? I told you that. In this neighborhood? They went to church at St. Stan's. Isn't that crazy?
Is that right?
And this was the late 50s. But anyway, so my father, he was a Rotarian. But my mother, she was deaf. I told you that. That I knew.
That's a shame.
Thank you. It was congenital. Then, anyway, she got pregnant
pregnant with me, and they moved out to Rosemont. But anyway, her family, they were Swedish.
There was this great article 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you saw this, about the history of the changing ethnic
Distribution.
of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
How in the 70s, 80s, how that was followed by a period of rapid of
Decline.
growth, of growing.
Well, I don't know decline, but I mean there was trouble.
No, she didn't mean trouble.
There was trouble.
Economic trouble.
Drugs are trouble.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Violence is trouble.
Exactly.
and the violence as an outgrowth of the criminalization of those drugs.
Because you know, two of us, we're both crackheads. I'm just kidding.
Really, don't say that. Really, not even.
I know you were just kidding, but that was our exception.
I know he was, and it was funny, but when people are systematically dehumanized, if you've been put in a faceless institutional,
The projects.
I mean, like it or not, that kind of environment is not conducive to
That's true.
the formation of community.
Horrible.
Tough place to grow up.
With the effects on children,
On anyone.
and to take what had been well, not prosperous, but solidly middle class,
Enclave,
and completely undermine the entire economic
infrastructure.
by warehousing people inside of
That's
these.
the thing, right? If you create an artificial semblance of a community and then isolate people within that, I mean, what would be the definition of a ghetto, right?
Yeah, but
Ghetto
who
is a
uses
place
that
where
word? I don't.
people are sequestered, right? The definition I'm saying.
Well, my family,
Like Prague. If you think of Prague had this ghetto, right? The Jewish ghetto?
we've been to Prague.
Oh my God, Prague is beautiful. I love it. You didn't like it?
Prague is crowded.
And the food sucks. Or is that just me?
But I'm saying it's not like, you know, one day all these Jews were sitting around Prague looking at the real estate section going, hey, here's an idea, let's all go live in that ghetto, right?
When were you in Prague?
Last April.
First Prague and then Zurich.
I want to go back.
Do you ski?
Him?
You mean like downhill?
That I want to see.
You ever been to Switzerland?
I can ski, I have
Oh,
skied.
get that on video.
Why is that funny?
Sorry.
Seriously, what is it about the idea of me skiing that you find so highly
Anyway.
usable?
I just meant if you golf, you go to Scotland. If you ski,
I'm just trying to picture it.
Gratuitous.
Anyway,
I can't
To the
see
top.
Tom's right. Let's get it together. Anyway. Where were we?
page 3.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Nope.
How is that possible?
Don't know.
How can we still be?
And it is now 3:45.
I'm sorry for taking time.
No, what you said was great.
No, I didn't mean to romanticize.
You didn't.
There's nothing romantic about being poor.
But it was your neighborhood.
Wait, what street?
Off of Larrabee.
My parents lived on Claremont!
oh, the neighbors.
But I wasn't trying to make it about my connection to the house. It was more about the principle.
You can't live in a principle.
Wait, you had a connection to the house?
Yeah, to the house. Mm-hmm.
To this house?
Her aunt.
I don't. Let's not.
Lived here.
Wait, who?
Sort of beside the point, but yes,
Her great aunt.
on my mother's side.
Wait, not here.
And this was 50 years ago.
Here in this house.
For quite some time, actually.
Oh my God! What? So.
This exact
So just-
house.
So you've been in this room before?
I used to climb a tree in the backyard.
Oh my God!
A crepe myrtle tree.
Oh.
Wow. That is just bizarre.
Any rate, her great aunt. And she had to save a long time to be able to afford a house like this.
She was a domestic worker.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And a house isn't cheap.
Not here, anyway.
Here at that time.
At that time. But when I was growing up, I don't think I remember seeing a single white face in the neighborhood for pretty much my entire...
Well, there was one you said.
Who?
What's his name?
Mr. Wheeler?
Mr. Wheeler.
I don't think anybody knew his first name.
And he was a what?
At the grocery store.
You bagged the groceries.
At the soup. Well, back then it was Gelman's. Then they tore down Gelman's.
And that became the Super Saver?
And then they tore down the Super Saver.
You know where the Whole Foods is?
And what happened to Mr. Reilly?
Dead, probably.
He was, you know, developmentally.
Oh, that's so sad.
You know why that bothers me? I have a niece with Asperger's syndrome.
But, given the makeup of the neighborhood at that time and the price of a house like this one, the question naturally arises as to whether it was the thing that happened here in this house. Whether that in some way played a factor in making it affordable to a person of her income.
The thing.
The sad, you know,
I don't.
the tragic.
Thing that happened.
What thing?
Long time ago.
In this house?
I'm just saying that since she was one of the first people of color to...
Wait, something happened in the house.
What? Somebody died or?
It's not important.
That we should be concerned about?
No.
It's just that there had been a family whose son had been in the army.
Korea, maybe.
And a few years after he came back from the war...
Killed himself.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Sad.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Which my great aunt didn't know it.
Oh my god, that is just...
But I assumed you did.
No.
No, and that is... And they went ahead and sold the house too.
Wow.
Without telling her that? Because nobody told us that. Well, they wouldn't, would they?
50 years ago.
But legally, I mean, isn't that something that you have to tell people? Not if you want to sell it.
It was something like he'd come back from the army and he'd been accused of something.
Killing people.
Innocent people.
Killing civilians.
And then, you know, himself.
Oh, but you don't mean like like here in this very.
Oh, no. I mean, not where we're sitting.
It was upstairs, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I believe the version I heard was that it was upstairs.
Hanged himself.
Oh! No, I'm sorry. No, that is wrong. That is just...
Where are you going?
No, I'm sorry. To sell someone a house? Where?
What's the matter?
Well, oh, there should be a law. I don't care how, okay? I don't care how he did it or in what room. Because that is just something that from a legal standpoint, you should have to tell people.
It's not.
Well, it fucking well should be.
Hey.
And now I have this horrifying image in my head.
Why'd you have to make such a big deal?
It is a big deal, Steve. If our family is going to live in a house.
I mean, it sounds like he's still hanging up there.
It's not funny, okay? It's not funny to me, so why are you acting like an asshole?
Okay. Show you what you got. So that's your problem right there. Excuse me. I'll tell you one thing though. Yank this thing up from down there, take one look at it, you know the first thing I'm thinking to myself, you know what I'm thinking? Buried treasure. Like Spanish doubloons or something. I know what you're thinking, Dan, you crazy bastard. But I know a guy, excuse me, this guy, last summer, he's taking out a septic system, house out in Mundelein. Yeah, he's sitting on top of his backhoe, all of a sudden, clang, and this guy's not exactly the sharpest tool in the box, if you know what I mean, but he gets down there like 5 or 6 feet with a chain and a winch. Swear to God. He stands back, you know when he pulls up from down there? He stands back, he takes a look. You're in the middle of something. My bad. Bowling training shop. According to my wife.
Oh yeah?
There's a couple other names not suitable for mixed. Anyway.
Thanks.
So I'll just leave this here for you then.
Thank you.
You need me to help you open it? You let me know.
Great.
The problem is though, this puppy right here. Now the deal is I got a saw. You maybe take a hacksaw, I can saw your way through it. But what you really want is a pair of bolt cutters. I don't think I have any bolt cutters.
Oh well.
You never know, this thing turns out to be full of Spanish doubloons. We gotta split it 6 ways, huh?
Sorry.
Whoops.
I don't think I know your name.
Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Dan or Danny.
Great.
Daniel when the wife gets pissed. No, I hear you. In the middle of your thing, I come barging in.
If you wouldn't mind.
You find yourself some bolt cutters, though. You're being busy.
We will.
Actually. Hang on a second.
So I'm just gonna push ahead if that's okay?
Ramirez!
Because I got like 17 pages to cover.
And I'm sorry I lost my shit. No, I did. But I think we're both wound a little tight right now. What with the baby and the house and the money and everything.
Ramirez!
And to top it all off, we get sent this petition in the mail. And suddenly our entire lives are thrown into chaos right at the exact same moment. I mean, the demolition was scheduled to start on Monday. And unless we get this resolved, which I want as much as anyone, and what can people expect?
Ramirez! Screw it.
So, a couple of options. As we said, one is reducing the height.
No, Tom, I'm sorry, but you can't just call up an architect at the 11th hour and snap your fingers and say, can you completely redesign an entire...
It's a little late in the day for that.
Oh, I'm sorry you're upset.
I'm not upset. I'm not.
And may I remind everybody that these guys are under no obligation, legal or otherwise.
Okay. Here's the wording from the City Council, and I quote, "In recognition of the historic status of the Clybourne Park neighborhood and its distinctive collection of low-rise single-family homes intended to house a community of working-class
Aren't we a
families."
single family?
What?
And the reality is, communities change.
They do.
That is just the facts.
It is.
And some change is inevitable, and we support that. But it might be worth asking yourself who is responsible for that change.
Wait, what do you?
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
I'm asking you to think about the motivation behind the long-range initiative to change the face of this
The
neighborhood.
long-range what?
Say that
What
again?
does that mean?
Do you know what that means?
I mean, this is a highly desirable area.
No, we desire it.
I know you do.
Same as you.
And now it is changing.
And for the better, right?
And I am saying that there are certain economic interests that are being served by those changes and others that are not. That's all.
And which interests are being?
If you have a residential area in close proximity to downtown,
Right?
and if that area is occupied by a particular group,
Which group?
Look, we're talking about one house here.
I understand that.
Which group?
A house for our family,
Which group?
And that's how it happens.
in which to raise our
No,
child.
no. Which group?
It happens one house at a time.
Whoa. Okay, stop right there.
What are you doing?
No, I'm sorry, but can we just say what it is we're actually... Should we maybe do that? Because if that's what this is really all about, then maybe... Oh, Jesus, maybe we ought to save ourselves some time and just say what it is we're actually saying, instead of doing this elaborate little dance around it. Never mind.
What dance?
I shouldn't have... Whatever.
So you think I haven't been saying what I actually...
Not to my way of thinking, no.
So what is it that you think I'm saying?
Like we don't all know.
I don't.
Oh, yes you do. Of course you do.
Well, maybe you ought to tell us what you're
Oh,
saying.
but it has to be me.
Well, you're the one who raised the question as to
Oh,
the
come on, it
sincerity
was
of my
blatant.
speech.
What the fuck, Steve?
You know what? Forget it. Forget I said anything.
I have no idea.
No, I'm interested.
Okay. If you really want it. It's race, isn't it? And you're trying to tell me that implicit in what you said, that this entire conversation isn't at least partly informed, am I right? By the issue of racism.
Well, the original issue was the inappropriately large house that
come
you're
on.
planning to build. Only now I'm fairly certain that I've been called a racist.
But I didn't say that, did I?
It sounded like you did.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you kind of did.
In what way did I say that?
Somebody said racism,
Schism, not cyst.
which must originate from
Which we
somewhere.
all find totally reprehensible.
So are you the racist?
Can I just...
Is it your wife?
Well, look at
Look,
Because by process of elimination,
here's what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying was race not a factor?
Oh, this.
Were
Oh,
there not these differences?
what differences? There are no
Okay,
differences.
she comes here from the very beginning with all these issues.
About your
And
house.
I'm only asking whether were we not, shall we say...
You're creating an issue where none exists.
Oh, you come on. You heard what she said. She as much as claimed that there's some kind of secret conspiracy.
Oh, it's no secret.
There!
Oh, wait a minute.
Thank you!
Don't be so
Now you see what I'm-
naive, okay? This has been under discussion for at least 4 decades, and under the highest institutional levels of
But you can't prove that.
Oh, don't act like you don't know it's true.
What? And now we're the evil invaders
She
who
never
are
said that.
appropriating her ancestral homeland.
Oh, this is the. I'm sorry. This is the most asinine. Half of my friends are black,
What?
which is true of most normal people.
Name one.
Normal people have many friends of a diverse and wide.
can't name
range-
one.
Candace.
Name another.
I would have to stand here compiling a list of
You
my.
said half. You specifically said...
Teresa.
She works in your office. She's not your friend.
Oh, she was at the baby shower, Steve. I sure hope she's not my enemy.
Well, this has all been fascinating.
Name another.
As much as I'd like to sit around and review all of American history, maybe we should concentrate on the plans for your property.
Yes.
Which
yes.
was the original
The
topic
history
of
of America is
conversation.
the history of private property.
That may
Read
be.
the Tocqueville.
Though I doubt your grandparents were sold as private property.
Oh my God! Look. Humans are territorial.
Who
Okay.
are you?
This is why we have wars. One group, one tribe tries to usurp some territory, and now you guys have this territory, right? And you don't like having it stolen away from you. The way white people stole everything else from black America. We get it, okay? And we apologize. But what good does it do if we keep perpetually falling into the same predictable little euphemistic tap dance around the topic?
You know how to tap dance?
See? You see what he's doing?
Maybe quit while you're ahead.
No, I'm sorry, but no! Every single word we say is scrutinized for some kind of latent. Meanwhile, you guys run around saying N-word this and N-word that and whatever. I don't know why there's a double standard, but I can't even so much as repeat a fucking joke that the one black guy I know told me.
So go ahead and tell the goddamn
Not
truth.
now!
I mean, if you feel so oppressed, either go ahead and tell it,
Do not.
or maybe you can move on.
Thank you.
Well, I want to hear it.
Oh no, trust me, it's offensive.
Of course it's offensive, that's the point.
To me, it's offensive to me.
How does it offend you?
Because it's disgusting and juvenile and traffics in the worst possible types of obsolete bullshit stereotypes.
Well, now I gotta hear it.
No! I can't!
Not while I'm in the
Well,
room.
she says it's so offensive, and I have no way of knowing if she's right. And if I don't ever hear it, how will I ever know?
You know what? I don't even remember now.
2 men in a jail.
Oh, I know this one. Steven?
Isn't that what you said? 2 men?
Okay, so look, it's not even my joke, okay? It was told to me by Kyle Hendrickson, who, for what it's worth, happens to be
Black.
right.
So the white man goes to jail.
I can't believe you actually intend to. Fine,
Anyway,
knock him dead.
goes to jail for embezzlement, something, little white guy. And he's put in a cell with this
Black man.
big black guy.
Why
And
vague? Why does it have to be vague?
I am
What
repeating
does that say
verbatim
about your
the joke
subconscious?
in the precise manner in which it was told to me.
Little white man, big black
Oh
man.
my god.
And and they slammed the cell door behind him, I guess, and the black guy turns to the white guy. Black guy goes, okay, so I'm gonna give you a choice. While you're in here with me, you can either be the mommy, or you can be the dad. So the white guy thinks for a second, and he goes, I guess if it's up to me, then I guess I'd have to say, I'd prefer to be the daddy. And the black guy goes, okay, well then bend over. Because mommy's gonna fuck you in the ass.
That's not the one I was thinking of.
So, is that offensive
Are you
No.
to
insane?
you? How is it offensive to you?
I don't think it's me you should be asking.
You know, see, the problem with that joke is that it's not funny.
No shit.
You laughed when I told it to you.
And had it been a funny joke,
It is funny, it is. And the reason it's funny is because it plays upon certain latent fears of white people vis-a-vis
Okay. I'd like to add, I'm gay.
I didn't know.
So I guess you just think sex between men is fun.
Oh, come on!
It's inherently funny.
And it's not even sex, it's rape!
So rape is funny?
Yes! In the context of the joke!
My sister was raped.
Oh!
So it's offensive to me
And me.
And him, and them, and that's the point of, to permit the expression of, I don't even know what it means, offended. What does it even mean? What does it even mean?
How many white men does it take to change a light bulb?
No.
Tell us, how many white men does it take to change a light bulb?
All of them.
Why is that?
One to hold a light bulb while the rest of them screw the entire world.
Dave, what's long and hard on a black man?
How is this happening?
I don't know, Steve, what's long and hard on a black man?
First grade. Are you offended? Nope. Neither am I.
Oh, you can't be offended, you moron!
I can't?
Because you've never been politically marginalized, unlike a majority of people.
How can a majority be marginal?
And by the way, all women everywhere, and it's your classic white male myopia that you're blind to that basic fact.
Why is a white woman like a tampon?
Why is what?
It's a joke.
No.
Well, you told right now I want to tell us why is a white woman
Baby,
like
don't.
And please don't baby me, okay? You got 3 babies at home if you want to pacify someone.
Good night. I'll wash my hands.
Can you repeat the setup?
Why
Is a white woman, right?
like a tampon?
I don't know. Why?
Because they're both stuck up cunts.
Wow.
But I hope you're not offended.
See, I find that funny.
Do you?
Well, I'm offended.
Oh, you are not.
And how does it always come back around to the women?
It was a joke.
Exactly.
An incredibly hostile joke.
Directed at me.
And in what way am I stuck up exactly? Do you mean because I worked my ass off putting myself through law school? Is that what makes me stuck up?
It's a joke about a tampon.
And maybe there's a difference between being stuck up and being intelligent.
You don't even fucking know the capital of Morocco. You know what? If there's anyone here being marginalized by the tide of history, you don't exactly see me sitting in the White House, do you?
Oh, thank the Lord!
But you don't see me dressing my pants and acting all offended.
You know what? I think maybe I'm done.
No. You want to know what offends me? How about the neighborhood the two of us are living in right now? Bunch of white suburban assholes still driving around with a yellow ribbon magnet on their SUVs in support of some bullshit war. That's the kind of shit that offends me.
Why does that make them assholes?
What is what?
You said assholes have yellow ribbons on their
I didn't
SUVs.
say that.
Yeah, you did.
I said with the magnet, not, you know, by virtue of.
So it's not the magnet makes them the asshole.
You have one on your car?
I have 3 of them.
3.
3.
3.
3.
3.
One for each member of my family serving overseas.
Great.
I have the pink one. For breast cancer.
So I guess that makes me a triple asshole.
Think we know who the asshole is.
Wow.
Well, you're being an idiot. And in case you hadn't noticed, the rest of the world has begun a more sophisticated conversation around this topic that you apparently are qualified to participate in at this incredible moment in history. I mean, I used to date a black guy. So what? I mean, seriously, Steve, wake up.
Okay, it is now 4 o'clock. So, final thoughts. Lena?
No.
Kev?
I'm good.
Anybody?
Very informative.
Well, I would like to say this, that I feel angry, and basically I'm kind of hurt by the implication that's been made, that just because we want to live as your neighbors and raise a child alongside yours, that somehow in the process of doing so, we've had our ethics called into question. Because that is hurtful.
No one's questioned your ethics at all.
Well, I wish I could believe you.
No, what we're questioning is your taste.
Well, that is insulting.
Kathy, I will call you when the petition goes through.
Thank you.
Tuesday at the latest.
Wait! What's wrong with our taste?
Kev?
Right behind you.
No! What is so egregious about the design of our house?
No. Let it go.
Sweetie, I got a thing. I will see you tomorrow.
And you guys have my number in case you want to talk.
So, good luck with your house. And maybe y'all could just communicate with Tom from here on out. But anyway, y'all enjoy your evening.
Wow.
Well, that's great.
Amazing.
And for the record, that woman is the cunt.
Wait a second, what did you say? I'll slap the teeth out of you.
Hey, let's be
Shut
civil.
your hands off of me.
Hey, are you coming or are you too busy making friends with everybody?
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
All afternoon, you gotta be everybody's friend. Hi, everybody.
Give me your house is the fuck right there.
Yes.
So you're gonna pick up my
You
TV?
got it. Yes.
You would have had a bust out your ass the moment you stepped in that door.
Well, at least I don't feel any ingratiate myself with everybody.
Maybe some of us are not paranoid and delusional.
Be here if you ever feel like visiting.
Fine by me.
Okay, keys.
I mean, God forbid my niece should ever come before the baby.
Oh, you really want me to choose between you and the baby?
Oh, I'm secondary.
That's an easy choice.
Correction, tertiary.
Or maybe you don't want the baby.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't realize I had a choice.
Oh, you had a choice.
If only I'd known.
And you chose.
Now, what were the options again? Oh, that's right. A, let's have a baby.
Which you chose.
Or B, I'm divorcing you.
But you chose
A
A.
for arm twisting.
Do you have the keys?
B for blackmail.
Do you have them or don't you?
Yes, I had the goddamn. What do you think? Someone's gonna rob this place? Help yourselves, fucking shithole.
Hello? Hello? Dear Mom and Dad,
Huh?
What are you doing?
Writing a letter.
Did your father leave already?
Don't see the car.
What time is it?
Don't know.
I overslept.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was up so late. I was up half the night and the house was so quiet and your father was sound asleep, but for some reason my mind was racing and it took me forever to fall back to sleep.
Go back to bed.
Oh, look at how you're dressed up. Why are you dressed up like that, Kenny?
Job interview.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Francine.
Morning.
Oh, is it raining?
Oh, it's sprinkling a little.
Didn't even notice. Well, it's good for the grass.
Going back to bed?
I will. I'm just about to.
You know, I think things are about to change. I really do. I know the past couple years have been hard on all of us. I know they have been, but I really believe things are about to change for the better. I firmly believe that. Do you have enough light? Don't hurt your eyes.